2021 commemorates the 20th year of providing restorative justice services to crime victims, justice-involved individuals, and communities. To recognize this momentous milestone, we are thrilled to announce that we are hosting a celebration later this year. Details for this event are coming soon, so visit our website and follow our social media pages so you don't miss out. We hope to see you there.
Yeah, so I know in the book and some of the other times we've spoken, you mentioned how, you know, when you were in the life of sort of the drug abuse and that whole cycle, and you committed some of these crimes, that you actually ended up running into one of the folks who was a victim of one of your crimes, and how that had impacted you. Would you mind telling that story? Because I think it's a good one.
Real quick, yeah. Dave, and I have permission to use his name. Dave. When I was working at the nonprofit where I was working with at-risk, the kids program that I started, there was the IT guy. His name was Mike, and he had came past the office, and I was out of town, and my assistant was at my desk, and he looked at the name on the name tag on my door, and it said Jim Jones, and Leanne said, and Mike said, "Well, what do you mean?" It bothers me. That's what he said to Leanne. And Leanne said, "What do you mean?" "Well, there was a guy named Jim Jones that robbed me 8 years ago." And he started talking about it. And Leanne, knowing my background, put two and two together, and it was me. So when I got back in town, I was at a conference. I got back in town. Mike comes down the office, comes down the hallway with a like an envelope, a clear envelope, and I saw the envelope. It was one of those plastic ones, and it had a newspaper article of the crimes, of the robberies. Mike was at the time, he was a clerk at one of the gas stations that I robbed, and for years, to that point, he still was wondering. He thought I was still in prison, and when I got out of prison, I was going to do something to him. So we actually did an informal victim offender mediation, because we worked together for 2 years, and he never said anything about it. But he did say in our meeting that, "Jim, when I saw your name on paperwork, or I walked past your office seeing your name, it brought back all the dynamics of the crime, of what he's been through." And I said, "Mike, I wanted to apologize for years, but I knew if I was to approach or try to look you up, I could cause more damage, because the same thing I was doing with the kids, I learned that you can't do that." It was a tremendous relief, and we both benefited from both sides. And then that's when the idea came up about starting a community justice center. I said, why can't offenders can't approach their victims and do victim offender mediation, but why not create an organization, and after training, offenders can post letters of harm or apology letters. They can indicate on a website. Why not use the door that Mike walked through? Why can't we use the internet as that door where offenders can safely post their names, and if they're willing to do victim offender dialogue, or just let a safe place where victims can go to get that information, those letters, to see if they want to do victim offender mediation, or just to get resources. So that's how the Community Justice Center, good call. That's how the Community Justice Center was started. That was the initiation of the Community Justice Center, and so that's how I got started. One of my victims gave me this avenue of helping others. Now we're over 10,000 justice-involved individuals who have taken the program, both on prison and probation. Our recidivism rate over the 19 years is an average at 18%. Wow. And probation is even better. So I'm pretty proud of what we have done so far for this small grassroots nonprofit. We have in all the prisons in the state of Nebraska. We're in all the probation offices in the state of Nebraska. So it's been a good 20 years.
Totally. Yeah. And I love that story because, A, what a small world, right? And B, it was really the genesis for your program to take off.
I hope you enjoyed the short segments from a recent interview I did with a good friend and colleague, Dave Nadelman. To view the rest of the interview and to learn more about the Community Justice Center, check out our social media pages and visit us at communityjusticecenter.org.